I'm Kev.
And I'm Steve.
And we're from the internet.
Want an extra episode of We're From The Internet every week? Head over to we'refromtheinternet.com/bonus to get an exclusive weekly bonus episode 100% free. What's the one thing you'd change about yourself?
Oh, my hair. Easy.
Which one? The one at the back or the one on top?
Yeah, just, I don't know. I think it's the thing that bothers me most. I think I'd feel more confident if I had a decent hairstyle. I'm not a very confident person.
Well, that ship has sailed, surely, when it all fell out. You've just got a...
It hasn't all fallen out. You're confusing our listeners when you put pictures of me up online and I've got a luscious head of hair.
Over.
But I mean, I do need to go and see somebody with talent in styling hair, because I only ever go to barbers, so they just hack at it. I'm not saying they're untalented, but their job is to just cut it and send you off on your way, isn't it?
You need to tell them what you want, and you don't know. You just go, "Can I have a haircut?"
I say like short back and sides, because my dad told me that once when I was about 10.
Because you want a haircut from the 60s. So.
My dad said to me, "Ask for a short back and sides." I sat down and did that. I assume that's what his dad did when he was 10, and was allowed to get his own haircuts on his own.
Yeah, which is why you have an old man haircut.
Yeah, I've never stopped asking for that because I don't know what to do.
The thing is, if you want a fancy haircut, you have to go to a fancy barber.
No, exactly.
You have to make an appointment.
Yeah, that's my plan.
Let your hair grow long, and then you go in and say, "Make me beautiful."
See, I watched my cousin do this. My cousin from Denmark, Kevin.
That's my name.
He walked into the same barbers I went to when I lived in Essex, and he said, "Make me handsome."
And they booked a surgeon.
No, and then they just cut his hair, and he left with a decent haircut, and it was different from the one he had when he walked in, and I just thought, does he do that every time he goes there? And he didn't seem to care what they did. They just made him look...
Yeah, but the thing is, with the way you are, you couldn't do that. You couldn't go in and say, "Make me handsome," because whatever they did, you'd think you looked like a pillock afterwards.
Well, that's part of the thing I'm trying to overcome. I walked around, the other day when I was here, and I said to you, whenever I ask my wife or my sister to help me with my hair, like, is it tidy? They just pull it all forward and make it look scruffy, and it suits me more. And you and Anna both went, "Bloody hell, yeah, it really does help."
I don't think I was quite that positive.
Well, Anna was. You just went, "Yeah, it makes you look less bald," or something like that.
Yeah, it's better than a comb over.
So I left it like that all weekend. The next day I got up and it's pretty much the same, so I just scruffed it a bit more. Went all around town.
To the comb over today.
Yeah, only because I went to work and I wasn't confident enough to go with it. But I went around the whole of town with my son on my shoulders, scruffing my hair even more. By the time I got home, he'd fluffed my hair up so badly. I had a massive fluff at the front, so I had to gel it down slightly to make it look rough, but tidy enough still. But I tried to do that. The reason why I ended up doing it just because I tried to do that again this morning, it didn't look right. But I need to just have I need a low maintenance hairstyle that isn't just being completely bald or a skinhead.
Like mine. Mine's low maintenance.
Yeah, I don't think I can pull that off, achieve it with my hair, I mean.
All I do is get up in the morning, get in the shower, make myself clean, use some Flying Fox from Lush, which makes me smell magnificent, and also stops me getting bug bites. Don't wash my hair. It's been shampooed about 3 times this year. Then I get out of the shower, get a handful of putty, rub it around, and see how it ends up. That's why sometimes it's over to one side, sometimes it's all stuck up, sometimes it's smoothed all the way back, Superman style. It just depends. When I stop 5 seconds of rubbing, I see what it looks like, and pretty much leave it like that, and then that's it for the day. And yeah, I look like a hobo with messy hair, but that's just how I look. My hair's always all over the place.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? People don't really care how people look after a couple of seconds. Just the way they look. It's like naming something, isn't it? They don't care. It's a label. It's just the way you look. But I don't know. I need to get something sorted out, because I used to have spiky hair when I was younger, and I was fine with that. Pulled that off. That was fine. But I'm too old for that now. I look like a pillock if I just had spiky hair.
Sometimes I have spiky hair.
No,
you sound
the
like
way I had it, I mean, I personally, I'm not saying anyone with spiky hair looks like a pillock. I'm saying I personally wouldn't look right with it now.
Have a flat top. I'd like you to have because I've seen you get confused looking at a hairdryer. I'd like to see you be a hairdryer man. That seems to be the in thing with the kids these days. They don't put product in their hair the way us old folk do. They blow dry their hair into unusual shapes and then maybe add a little bit of hairspray afterwards to hold it there. But they all have the big swooping styles.
See, that's what worries me about going to a stylist, is that I'll say, give me something that will suit me, and then they swoop it all to one side in a crazy kid
Tie a
style.
bow in it at the side.
And I just look like an absolute knob. I just want a normal hairstyle that isn't rubbish, basically. And then I think I just feel a bit more like, yeah, now I can sort out everything else that's wrong with me. But I suppose, thinking logically, the one thing I want to change as well is not having any little minor ailments that bother me. But the hair's a bigger deal, I think, than having tablets for life.
Oh,
what about yourself?
Well, I've got nice hair, thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice of you to ask. Addressing the question specifically, I need to be a finisher. I'm this creative lunatic who has 10 ideas a day, starts 5 of them, and then by the end of the week, I've had another 10 ideas. Just over the course of this weekend, I've started writing one book, ended up writing a different book. I've decided I'm going to be a professional poker player again and played a little bit of poker. I've gone and played some video games because I need to do some more of that for Mature Gamer. I've decided to knock all that on the head and focus on my career. I've then decided, and it changes constantly. And I don't know, if I don't have immediate, overwhelming success with something, I try something else constantly. And I know intellectually that most of my ideas are really good ideas. I've had 5 good ideas today that if I just focused on one for a year, this time next year, I'm going to be loaded. But I don't have it in me. I can't focus on one thing. I have to have all these plates spinning because otherwise I just get so bored. And it's my attention span. It's the same reason I can't sit down and just watch a movie. If I'm watching a movie, I have to be reading a book and playing a game at the same
you
time.
Got, like ADHD or something?
I'm certain I have got ADHD. Yeah. I just don't think it was diagnosed when I was a kid.
Can you get tablets for that?
I don't really want them because I don't want to dull the creativity. I like the fact I've got all these ideas coming around because sooner or later one will pop up that does work instantly and then I'll be fine. But I like the fact that I always have these ideas. I go through 3 ideas books a year, full of ideas. But I just need that discipline or, like we've said before, I need a manager.
Yeah,
I need someone I need someone who I can submit my ideas to at the end of every day, who says, right, okay, I'm filing all them away. You're not working on any of them right now because you're still doing this one from last week. Here's your agenda for today, Mr. Chapman. You're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this.
I think that's how Richard Branson ended up owning like Virgin Galactic, Virgin Airlines,
I think
Virgin TV.
He got to that point eventually. I've read his autobiography, and he spent years with his record shops and his record label and got them to the point where he hired this team around him. It's the same old thing. Make sure you've got a team around you who are all smarter than you are, because the entrepreneurial spirit is you've got all these things buzzing about all the time, constantly getting distracted by squirrels, but you need that team of boring lawyers in suits and briefcases telling you what ones you can do and what ones you can't do. And that's what I need.
Money,
I need a manager. I need you to be a disciplinarian and tell me what to work on. But the thing is, if you tried it, I'd tell you to do one.
No,
I need it to be I need to be paying someone to make my decisions for me. Because if I'm paying them to make my decisions, in my head, that I'm paying them for this, I have to follow them because I'm paying them to do it. But I haven't got the money to pay them because I can't commit to any of my ideas. And it's a frustration.
I wouldn't be able to discipline you with them anyway, because I'm in the same boat, surely. If I could do it, we'd have done something by now. Most of the time, it's our ideas, and we're...
So if you want to be our manager, working on a commission rather than on a salary, send a CV into the usual address. Let us know why you're suited to be our manager. And we've said this before. I promise you, this isn't a gag. We want a manager or an agent or whatever you want to call it.
We can hammer out the details. We just want to submit all our ideas and then...
We'll stick them in Evernote. We'll give you access to it. And you then send us back a to-do list every day of the things we've got to do before we go to bed. Manage our time. Give us a bit of free time here and there. Because that's the other thing. When I'm in full-on ideas mode, I don't get any downtime for a week. And then I'm knackered, so I have a weekend off and waste all that time. Whereas if I could just schedule in that time all the time... I don't know. Sort me out, people. Apply as a manager. Want to get your question answered on a future episode of We're From The Internet? Head over to we'refromtheinternet.com/question. Tweet your questions at KevinSteve, email kevinsteve@gmail.com, or post them at facebook.com/KevinSteve, or even leave them in the comments for this episode.